welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
Ooh, baby. We are back. Happy Tuesday. Feels like Friday because we have been doing content nonstop. I got to tell you, though, I know that and I said this a little bit yesterday, I can tell that I am excited because my ass was up until, I don't know, 1:30. And then at 7 a.m., we woke up and we got back to work. So if you're part of Oversubscribed, don't you worry. We are grinding out here. But yeah, if you actually, let's see who's here. Who do we got here first? Sneeps, good to see you. We got Jump Shoot up in here. We got the Common Man. We the people. We will be lighting some beams. We got Jericho up in here. Brent, good morning. Sneeps, this is a great point by you. Why is Luke Cornett waiting so long? I mean, why are we waiting so long to announce it? Stubbs is here, airplane mode. Borland in the house. Good to see you. DC1 T-Man. Andres here. Marthan's, Veronica, Joshua. Good morning. Sergio. Kangs and Six. Snoopaloop's in here. Chicken Frig. We got who else? Stomp the Beam. Actually, I wasn't planning on doing a giveaway, but that is like a great hold on. Don't do it yet. Because I got to create it. But that is that's a great hashtag. So if you're going to come up with great hashtags like that, we are going to do it. It's going to makes it seem like the Warriors are going to stomp it out. And I guess literally they did. Hold on. So here we go. Ready? We can like the stream. We can subscribe. Hashtag stomp the beam, baby. We'll give something away. Fernandez is here. And we got Mike. Good afternoon to you over in the East Coast, baby. We're going to do a sniff real quick. That was gross, but it was about to come out. So we got a fun one today, guys. We got a fun one. We'll be talking about a lot of different stuff, mostly basketball. We'll do a little, take a little peek at the So Rare streets as well as the NBA Top Shot streets towards the end. But we'll, obviously, we're going to focus on the hoops last night. We had two games. Just a quick recap too of everything you may have missed yesterday. Yesterday. So we had the NBA bid in the morning, 9 a.m., covering all of the weekend actions, all the game ones, right? Then the So Rare playoff prep for the new game week came out since we didn't do the live before lock because it doesn't really make sense to do it. That came out. Then we did an NBA Top Shot Q stream, all right, like the old days, and we were vibing. I think we got up to 150 live viewers for that bad boy. Then we had a little Barry's Boys. If you guys missed that out, if you're big Barry fans and you're caught up on HBO's Barry, Steve and I talked about last night's episode. Would love your feedback on that too, because I think what we might do is just spin that into just a once a week TV, pick a different show each after Barry ends. But anyways, check that out. And then last night on Playback, we had a great time. Shout out Weisberg. He booked Jake Fisher. Jake Fisher from Yahoo NBA Sports came on and hung out with us for a little bit as we watched that first game. It was incredible. Sorry, I just received a very funny DM that I can't share with you, but it made me LOL. All right, who we got? Thoughts on the new Bond music over the moments? I'm into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Joel, good morning as well. Like the stream, subscribe, hashtag stomp the yacht. No, stomp the beam. Stomp that beam. Stomp the beam. Wait, this is the good one. Yes. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into last night's action. I don't know. How many of you guys stayed up and watched the whole game last night? I want to know who are the real ones out there, huh? Who are the real ones that stayed up all damn night and watched the sweet, sweet Beam Boys? Man, it was what a fun game. And I got to tell you, it felt like the exact opposite of game one. It was very ugly. It was a very ugly game. There was a lot of turnovers. I'll hit you with some stats, and then we'll get going. The Warriors turned the ball over 20 times last night. The Kangs turned it over 14 times last night. However, if I remember correctly, the Kangs did a much better job of capitalizing on that. And then let's hit you with some points. So we had Steph drop 28 and 6. We had Andrew Wiggins at 22 and 5. Clay had 21. The bench was pretty disappointing. So GP 2, he had 13 and 6 off the bench. He was the only real contributor. Dante DiVincenzo played 13 minutes and gave us Tony Snell type stuff. Jordan Poole played 16 minutes. He was questionable going into the game. Clearly, he was dinged up a little bit. He dropped 4 points. And then they got 4 from Moses Moody, who had to play a lot because of foul trouble. It was tough. So let's, I guess, do we start with Draymond, or do we set the table a little bit? So early in, like, the game was back and forth. Kings go on a nice little run there. I mean, the plus minus without Steph is brutal, right? When Steph's off the floor, the Kings just cook them. So the Kings went on a little bit of a run right into halftime. They go up 5, but like, if you are on the Warriors side of things and you're in that locker room, you're like, listen, we played like straight dog do. We have been very bad and we're down 5, so we got it. Like, it's fine. We got it. And Warriors, historically, third quarter team, they come out and just rip them off. Instead, what happened is the Kings went out there and drew 5 fouls in like the first 90 seconds. They were shooting in the bonus. And you know what? They actually didn't capitalize on that to the extent that I thought they were. Like, after they got them into the bonus earlier, I thought they were just going to attack. And to the Warriors' credit, they kind of didn't allow that. But what that did do was it put Looney in foul trouble and put Draymond in foul trouble. I believe Draymond picked up his 4th in like the first 2 seconds. And it changed the tenor of the game a little bit, and it got a little spicier. But I mean, let's get to the moment in question, and then we can kind of go back, right? So Sabonis and Draymond get tangled up a little bit, and like a few minutes earlier too. Like, this has been a few minutes earlier in the third quarter. Some words were exchanged between Malik Monk and Draymond. They were getting into it a little bit. There was also this play where a foul was called on Draymond. They reviewed it and overturned it. And what happened was Sabonis goes up. Draymond plays great defense. Sabonis kind of goes in behind the rim a little bit. I mean, behind the stanchion. And then he's running back in, and Draymond, I would say it was like 72% unintentional, but there was a little dab. There was a little Salt Bay of intentionality, I think, where Draymond just kind of gives him a little booty check, gives him a little hip. And Sabonis goes flying. Anyways, they overturn it because they say it was not a foul. But I do think that was kind of heating it up a little bit. All right. That was starting to up the intensity of what was going on. So then, I'm sure a lot of you have seen highlights of this, but we're going to do it just anyways. I don't care. Sabonis gets down on the ground. He's tangled up with them. Sabonis has him wrapped around his leg like this, kind of. So his leg's like right here. And then Draymond feels like Sabonis is pulling down on it. And then Draymond curb stomps him. Draymond just steps on him and then does this like weird skip to my Lou type Lucky the Leprechaun skipperoonie after it happens, and then runs down. Obviously, people go nuts. Foul is called. They immediately go to the camera. And then during that time, this is what I thought was most interesting. Do you think, and for those that watched it, do you think Draymond didn't know how intentional and dirty that looked when it happened? The only reason I can think, the only reason I think that is because if he knew it looked the way that it did, I don't know if he would have gone crazy like that. And what I mean by that is he was like, the crowd was booing, and shout out the Golden One Center, because holy crap. I mean, like, I would be like Jim Jackson, Iron Eagle. If you guys are listening to this, feel free to take the next game off. I would love to just watch that game with just the crowd noise, right? I'll pay extra for that, mainly because I found Jim Jackson to be very annoying last night. And normally I'm a pretty big fan, but I was out on it. Anyways, Draymond is just like, yeah, he's like WWE shit. He was calling fans pussies. It was, sorry for saying pussy this early in the morning, by the way. It was pretty weird. It was a pretty weird exchange. That part, I found that part too. And so my initial thought was that he didn't realize how bad that looked. And he didn't really put up a huge fight when he got ejected either. And I don't know if he was embarrassed or whatever. He kind of like had this conversation with the ref and then ran off. So where does the chat land on this? So Andre said, I saw an angle that looked like Sabonis just went to cover his face and didn't look like it was on purpose. Chicken Frick says, I loved the curb presser. It was really physical, really physical. Did I say physical? Because it was really physical. Draymond may have been able to avoid an additional suspension, but shouting at fans on live TV might seal his fate. Warriors seem like they'll ride and die with Draymond till the end. Draymond, the king of dumb stuff. He always tries to hide it, and he always fails at hiding it. It's pathetic. So did you guys think Sabonis, like, because this is Jim Jackson, he seemed to like really hammer home that what Sabonis did was also dirty. And I guess the more I looked at it, I was like, yeah, I guess he could have released the leg. He could have released it a little bit faster. I just didn't really categorize that as a yank down. But I also wonder if I have a little implicit bias here because I just think Draymond does this shit. But anyways, regardless of all of that, regardless of what you thought Sabonis did, that is going to be for someone we consider one of the highest IQ NBA players, right? That's what we talk about all the time. His ability to find Steph, like the chemistry that they have between each other, how he's always in the defensive player of the year conversation. That's going to be some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen. I just don't understand how you put yourself and your teammates in that situation. And I would love some like truth serum of how like the other guys feel. Because if you're Steph, you're like, dude, we're battling, man. We are down 1-0. We are on the road. We can't win on the road. We have a shot at sealing game 2, which immediately evens the series. Then we go back to the Bay. And then we have a shot at just like not wrapping things up, but like taking control of the series. But instead, not only do we get a little boot stomp, but then we do some, WWE shit, some Hulk Hogan energy. And now you're out the game. And you got Kevon Looney, who has to come back in now with 5 fouls. I mean, we already talked about it. Moses Moody played 8 whole minutes. Like, what's going on? And I don't understand. I just don't understand it. I don't understand how you put yourself and your team in that situation. And I wouldn't say it's a must. I mean, it was pretty must win. Unless the Warriors are like galvanized by this, but I just don't. And the series is not over. It's 2-0. They're the defending champs. They still have like championship caliber on there, but on that team. And I think obviously, right? The first game was decided by 3 points, I think. The second game, what was this, 8 points? So, like, obviously, these games are in the balance, and the Warriors are going to play better at home. But, man, I don't know. Tesla said 100% Sabonis knew what he was doing. Yeah, again, I don't think it was accidental. I don't think it was accidental. I just didn't think he was, like, full on yanked down. But he definitely knew what he was doing. Draymond has been an elite NBA player due to his exceptional ability to process his surroundings on the basketball court and ability to control his body and react quickly. Yeah, I was pretty surprised by it. You think it was a knee-jerk reaction? Which one? So you think on both players, like Sabonis held and then his reaction was to stomp down? Andre said Draymond asked for an x-ray on his ankle, according to sources. Green said it came from when Sabonis grabbed him. Yeah, I imagine this is going to that's because Sabonis had to get x-ray on his ribs. So I'm sure that's an elite trolling right there. JJL said, didn't he get suspended in the finals for the Cavs? Yeah, he kicked Braun in the Nuggets. I don't think he should have been suspended for that one. Like, I thought that was kind of dumb that he gets suspended for that game. But yes, he did do that. There's also he also booted Aquaman right in the cojones, right? Didn't he get Steven Adams in the Nuggets? I think we can actually just like pull that clip or the photo up. Let's see, Draymond Green. Yeah, there we go, kicking in the nuts. Let's get it. But what was your guys' reaction? Like, I thought, Sabonis rightfully was called for a foul on that. Also, my algo is going to be wild now after we look at this one. Like, there you go, right? The bang, bang. That's a wind up. Steven Adams is invincible. He was fine. Yeah. But like, I think that was just really low IQ basketball from a high IQ guy. And that's too bad. And I feel the same way about like suspensions as I do injuries or like ejections as I do injuries, right? Especially in the NBA playoffs, man. I want everybody full squad. I don't want any excuses when the series is over. Oh, well, if they had Chris Middleton, the Bucks are going to the finals, right? Like, I hate, and I picked that example. I'm a Celtics fan, whatever, but I hate when that is a conversation. And I think we're going to talk about it now. And that's why, like, there was a lot of dialogue on Twitter last night, which was funny. You saw both extremes. So, and if we're going to see the extremes on both sides, I'd rather see it in sports than in politics, I would say. But like, you saw a lot of players coming out being like, Draymond did nothing wrong here. Which, like, I don't know. I think he did something wrong. But I can see why they were like, he's just responding to what happened. So maybe they should both be punished. But then I saw lots of people being like, oh, yeah, he's going to get suspended, both for his action in the flagrant two, but also for how he handled the crowd. I'll truly be disappointed if he is suspended for a game, whether or not I think he should be suspended. I want like if the Warriors go down, I don't want to hear it because I don't want Clay to be like 4 and we'd have 5 if Adam Silver didn't step in. That doesn't sound like Clay, but do you guys think he gets suspended? And regulator pointing out, yeah, Sabonis did get a tech as well. But I don't know. Do you guys think he gets oh, this is great. DC1 says Draymond ejection equals the Golden State wildcard moment. Do you guys think he gets suspended? Do you guys think he misses another game? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Also, don't forget, stomp the yad. I mean, stomp the beam. Stomp the beam. Don't forget that one. If it was a 1-1, he maybe gets suspended, but since it's 2-0, no chance. I know, which is also crazy that like thought process. All right, Fernandez, you do think he gets suspended. Interesting. Anybody else? Who else? Put it in the chit chat. Put it in the chit chat. I really hope he doesn't. Also, can you imagine if he gets suspended in the first game? Well, obviously the next game is in Golden State, right? Yeah, Joel said no chance. He should for sure, but he won't. Combined with the fan stuff, I'd imagine a suspension coming. Yeah. Wait. So I saw a lot of this jump shoot. There's no world. I promise you. And that's what I tweeted out last night. Let me pull this up. I tweeted out last night about like who's coming into ref game 3. Let me find it here. Let me find it there. Let me find it here. All right, hold on. Like I tweeted this out last night. I was like that the referees for game 3 of the Warriors Kings, and it's just Foster. Because there's no way, man. There's no way the league wants Sacramento, right? Sacramento, I mean, Mark Jones was explaining to the casuals in game 1 who the guys on the Kings were. The Warriors, it's Steph Curry, it's Clay, it's Draymond, defending champ, Steve Kerr, Golden State money, the Bay Area, right? There's no world in which the NBA is like, God, if we could just get the Kings through, right? I mean, listen, we've already seen the history of the NBA screwing the Kings. Yeah, also stomp the yard. Don't forget it. Yeah, Adam Silver won't allow it. We need a creative solution. Draymond has to let Sabonis run his podcast for a day. I love that. What else we got? Boston Base, you just got in a fight with a Newton police chief? All right. Draymond needs 5 more playoff techs for an automatic suspension. He has work to do. Kings are more small market than the Spurs. Wait, what? Why are we including the Spurs? I'm confused. Why are we including the Spurs? Side note, can't wait to talk about Bledsoe and Beasley later. Yeah, we'll talk about that as well. Anyways, let's give De'Aaron Fox some credit, man. He continues to just be a straight killer in the 4th. Malik Monk, too, did it again. I didn't talk about any of the King stats. My bad. So Sabonis ended up with 24 and 9. Fox ended up with 24 and 9. He also had 4 rips. It felt like Harrison Barnes had 40 points, but he finished with 13 and 6. NBA just didn't like it when Timmy made all those finals. Wait, we're saying the same thing then, right? That they don't want the Kings to win the series, right? Aren't we saying the same thing? I did not watch a lick of hockey last night, Borland. I'm sorry. He said the Wild beating the Stars in double OT last night. There we go. Congrats, Wild. But it felt like Barnes had like 30 points. He ended up with 13 and 6. Herter had 15, which also felt like 30. But the story, Davion Mitchell, baby. Davion Mitchell, 14 off the bench, played 28 minutes. Malik Monk had 18 and 6. Yeah, man, it was a great game. Tomas said, will Draymond be available to play in the next match? He won't get a suspension. Yeah, that's what we was just talking about, Tomas. I have no idea, man. I have no idea. I don't think he's going to get suspended. I'd be very surprised if the NBA did it. But yeah, who knows? I'm sure we'll get that news today. I'm sure we will. But anyways, Kings go up 2-0. 2-0. When's the next game? Is the next game Friday? Friday night or Thursday. So next game is Thursday in Golden State. And I mean, obviously, backs are up against the wall, right? Can't go down 3-0. Can't go down 3-0. Merkemai is saying Davion was probably one of the reasons why the Kings were comfortable trading Halliburton. Obviously not on his level, but Davion is good. I mean, Davion feels more like a plug and play type, like depending on the matchup, right? And I think what was what was really important for Davion is he slowed Steph down, right? Steph, ended up with 28 points, right? But 9 for 21 from the field, 3 for 13 from three. And a lot of those brick threes came late in the game because he was forcing it a little bit. But that's two pretty poor shooting performances from Steph, even though I think he has like 59 or 60 points combined, right? Also, what's up, Bosi? Regulator said Kings could be the new Warriors. Everyone wanted Lakers before Warriors broke through. All right, we got to chill. We got to chill. The Kings have won 2 games. We cannot. If you want to crown their ass, crown them. But I think we gotta slow down on like the Bean Boys. Davian hit a 3 so clean, I thought he airballed it because the net didn't even move. That was crazy, right? Like it was over in the corner. That's what sealed the deal too. Fox hit a 3. They were up 3. Fox hit one, made it 6 with like 2.5 minutes to go, and I thought that was the clincher. And then Clay hit back-to-back triples, tighten that game right back up. Or maybe actually the Clay triples might have been before the Fox one, but anyways, I think it was a 3 or 4 point game when Davion hit his one in the corner, and that one called it. Zach said, who has greater impulse control, Draymond, Grayson Allen, or a 3-year-old who missed nap time? Yeah, that's great. I feel like it feels bad to put Draymond in the same scenario as Grayson Allen because the difference between Grayson and Draymond is Sabonis could have just been walking by and Grayson Allen would have done it. Draymond, at least something had to happen to him first before he stomped the yard. And then Chickenfrick said, Monk and Davion balled out in my so rare. Just need Lyles now. Yeah, listen, the age-old saying, right? Like the role players play better at home than they do on the road. So it'll be interesting to see how Kevin Huerter, Trey Lyles, Davion Mitchell, Malik Monk, how they all pan out after going on the road now. And maybe you get better performances from Kuminga, who only played 4 minutes, which is wild to me. And I think part of that is how small the Kings went, right? There was Fox, Davion, and Monk out there in crunch time. And some of that I think had to do with Kevin Huerter picking up his 4th and 5th foul in the first couple of minutes in the 4th quarter. But you saw, right? Peyton's the only one that played over 27 minutes. DiVincenzo played 13 and Poole played 16. And I think part of that, right, is Wiggins is back and Wiggins played 39. But I was very surprised. I was very surprised to see how small how small the Warriors went. Brent said Clay hit a couple threes at the end and then didn't see the ball again because Curry was in chuck and pray mode. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Like let Steph cook, right? And Josh said the Kings' confidence has just grown. They're the first team to have Steph down 2-0 in the playoffs. Yeah, and it could be the first time Steve Kerr loses a Western Conference series, which is pretty wild to see. Every time he's been in the playoffs, he's gone to the chip. But I'm not at the point where I'm ready to count out Steph and the Warriors. I'm curious to see how the league reacts to Draymond. But man, excuse me, what a fun game. What a fun game. Let's talk about the second game a little bit, which truly isn't as exciting because, nobody stomped the ad, which like the stream, subscribe, stomp the beam. Only 30 entrants yet, baby. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. We're also going to do a little mental health check here before we dive into the second game because I need to clear my throat. But I'm just not going to do it, guys. And it feels good to not cave to the chat because I am the boss. Like I said earlier, I'm in charge today. I am in charge. You can't tell me what to do. All right, let's talk Sixers Nets. Santa's Boy says, can't wait for the 76ers Nets talk. Jacques Vaughn is going to use his dumb double team strategy, hold Embiid to 20 points per game to get his next job. Well, so Santa's Boys, let me ask you this. Are you frustrated about that because you have Embiid in a fantasy game like So Rare or something else? Because I think that's what they have to do, though. No? Like, if they single cover him, they don't have any. It's not like it's the Celtics where you have a couple of bigs you can try to throw at him to slow him down a little bit, although he did put 50. Do you think that's what they should be doing? Because I think they have to double and then just hope Maxey and Tobias don't go ham. I don't know, because Nick Claxton cannot stay with Draymond in single coverage. And 2, if he gets in foul trouble, they literally have no one else. Oh, no, you love it. You love it. All right. I couldn't tell if you were mad or not. Poole not 100% hurts as well too. Yeah, that is something that we should know, right? I think I mentioned at the beginning of the show that Jordan Poole was. I thought he was doubtful. Ended up playing last night, but yeah, he's not 100%. That's going to hurt them. So, anyways, let's get into it. Sixers won 96-84. Tale of two halves, right? The first half, the Nets were up 5, I think, going into halftime. Cam Johnson went for 22 in the first half. But when you looked into it a little bit more, and we were talking about it at halftime over on playback a little bit, the Sixers played like dog shit. They were so bad. I think how many turnovers did they have in the whole game? They were just sloppy as hell. 20. No, that's the Nets. 20 turnover. No, that's personal fouls. Excuse me. 9 turnovers. Okay. No, I was looking at the Nets. I'm sorry. 19 turnovers. And it was ugly. And for them to only be down 5, we kind of had to know right there that the Sixers were going to come out and whoop them in the second half. And that's exactly what happened. So Cam Johnson, who finished the game with 28, was 11 for 19 from the field, 5 for 11 from 3. But again, did most of that damage in the first half. 22 in the first half, 6 in the second half. He had an incredible poster on Embiid. Took it to Embiid. I can't believe he got it. I think 9 times out of 10, Embiid sends it. Mikal Bridges finished with 21 and 5, but 6 for 15 shooting, 21 and 7, excuse me. Din Shitty, shout out Kyle Kuz, had 12 and 6, and it was pretty much nothing. And they just got nothing. I mean, they had 3 guys in double figures, and then DFS, Dorian Finney-Smith, had 8 points, and I think he had all of those in the first 5 minutes of the game. Seth Curry had 9 off the bench. Royce O'Neal was 6 off the bench. And then Tyrese Maxey, you get a Maxey game, baby. Maxey, he had 33 points. Went 13 for 23 from the field, 6 for 13 from 3. Embiid with 20 points, 19 boards, 7 dimes. He also had 8 turnovers. Tobias Harris, 20 and 12. Tobias Harris, 2 consecutive good playoff games, which is not something we see often. So good on them. Good on them. Sixers go up 2-0. That's a wrap. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe the Nets steal one of the next 2 at home in Brooklyn, but it's not like Brooklyn has a huge home court advantage unless it's people going, where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Which I do love. That is fun. Fernandez says the announcers are acting like the Nets are up 30 at half. They were up big. Like they were up like 15 at one point, but they really, the Sixers just played bad. Small ball Nets gave 76ers some trouble, but series is over. They just need to shoot threes, man. They got to be shooting 55 threes a game. They just got to get up as many as they can and hope variance plays it out. New York Knicks in 12, which is a fun name, says Nets in 7. All right, let's go. Let's go. I like that. There's a take for you. I know I spent 22 minutes on the first game and then 4 on the second game. I just don't think there's anything really to talk about with that series. I don't think, again, Brooklyn maybe steals the game, but Philly should be out of there in 5. They should be able to rest and relax and go into the second round series against the Celtics, who probably wrap it up in 4 or 5. And then that'll be a fun series. All right, let's set the table for the rest of the week. So tonight, we've got the aforementioned Boston and Hawks. Boston, I'm not going to blame Boston for this. Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks gave them the NBA TV. They gave them the NBA TV treatment. So Boston and the Celtics are at 7 o'clock on NBA TV, excuse me. And then TNT, we're back on TNT. Thank God. If in a perfect world, we get Mark Jones and Doris Burke calling the game for TNT. That's what I want. I'm done. Although I do like Kevin Harlan quite a bit. All right. So we've got Knicks, Bing Bong in Cleveland, which I feel this probably must win for Donovan Mitchell and the Cavaliers. I imagine the Bigs play a little bit better than they did in the first game. That's at 7:30 on TNT. And then we've got game 2 of Clippers and the Phoenix Suns at 10 p.m., which, again, that's another game 2 that's a little spicy, where we have Phoenix down 1. And I mean, if Phoenix goes down 2 at home and then have to go on the road, yikes. So that's the fun stuff that we have tonight. A couple of injury news heading into Wednesday, and I can give you a little content update. So Wednesday, the schedule is, I know we have Grizz and Lakers, I believe. And I think that's the early game. Hold on, let me just pull it up now. All right, Lakers and Grizz, 7:30 on TNT, Miami and Milwaukee, and then Minnesota and Denver, the late game on Wednesday. So we have The report came out from Wojnarowski, I believe, that Ja Morant is unlikely to play tomorrow night. And I think that is a death blow for the Grizz. I think this was going to be a dogfight regardless. And now I think I originally picked Grizz in 6 or Grizz in 7. But with no Ja Morant, I know, and everyone's going to be like, well, if you look at the record of Memphis without Ja Morant, like even last year, do you remember everybody was like, maybe, if you think about it, maybe the Grizz are actually better without Ja, which is wrong. That's not true. So Ja, if they don't have Ja, it's going to be a problem. I think we're going to see AD go for like 40 and 20 tonight. Tomorrow night. I will say though, like I don't think you see Rui Hachimura go for 28 again. But who knows? Maybe they get the shooter game or somebody like that. Jonathan says, can you explain the redemption if you don't redeem before they are eliminated? I honestly don't think I can, Jonathan. I'll talk about Top Shot in a little bit as we wrap up over here, but I wanted to finish the basketball. But yeah, so anyways, that's the action. And then Thursday night, we'll have Sixers and Nets, Kangs and Golden State, and then game 3 of Phoenix at LA. And then Friday, we got Boston, Atlanta, Cleveland, Bing Bong, Denver, Minnesota. Saturday, I love the 4-game stuff. Saturday, we got Philly and Brooklyn again for game 4, where we probably bring the brooms out, sweep it up. Phoenix and LA, game 4 on Saturday. Milwaukee, Miami, Memphis, LA. And then Sunday, we'll have Cleveland, Bing Bong, Sac, Golden State, Boston, Atlanta, Denver, Minnesota. So moving right around, right through the playoffs. So good, man. The other injury thing that we have to talk about is our friend Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is still no word yet on that injury, the back conversation. Man, I got to tell you, NBA Twitter just did like lines of cocaine talking about the block charge stuff and how we got to eliminate the I mean, everybody's just getting too angry about stuff. We got to chill out. No need to be that mad. Just relax. Some interesting dialogue around it. All right, that's that. That is the hoops. That is the hoops from last night. Let's go ahead, remind the people. We've got to remind the people. Like the stream, subscribe to Team Hold. Hashtag stomp the beam. Stomp the beam. I just want to shout out too. We've been grinding some of the short form content. So make sure every morning when you wake up, I want you getting up there and I want you engaging with our short form content. We now this morning crossed the 8,900 mark. So we've got 8,902 subscribers now over here at Team Hold. So 98 away from 9K. Let's hit that shit. I'm sorry. Yeah, 98 away from 9K. So let's hit that shit this week. Okay. Let's keep going. All right, here we go. Paul said they said there will be a 48-hour window or so to redeem for that round as the round ends, right? As each series ends. He's talking about Choppy Shotty. Then if that team isn't in the next round, I think you just have a collectible redemption moment. I believe that is true, Paul. Maddie says I can cash out my Kings to win the Western Conference bet to triple my wager back. Should I pull the trigger? Oh, wow. I'd let that ride. I would see. I think they are going to win this first round. So if you think they're going to win this first round, Matt, then yes, I would. I mean, then no, I would not cash it out. If you don't think they are going to win this first round, then sure, cash it out. But I think that number goes up after they get through the first round, especially because they'll be playing either Memphis or LA, and I think they can beat both of those teams. All right, what else did I guess? What team has the best chance to be swept? Mike Nostradamus. It's Brooklyn and Atlanta. Brooklyn and Atlanta are the 2 worst teams in the playoffs right now. I think Atlanta still has the talent and capabilities to steal a game, especially the other injury that we haven't talked about is Jaylen Brown's hand that he broke on a vase. That stitches open back up on in the relax series, where it opened up in game 1. So if he doesn't play game 2 or game 3 or something like that, I could see Atlanta stealing one. But Brooklyn is in dire straits unless they're just like, hey, we're up 3-0 and beat, why don't you take the night off? Which they won't do. So I would say Brooklyn. Wouldn't you cash out that bet and then rebet but take half the profit? You can do that. You can do that too. But I'm a content guy, Snoopaloop. I'm a content play. Yeah, maybe that makes sense. I'm not really good at that. I'm not really good at like when to cash out, when to hedge bets and all that stuff. Anyways, do T-Wolves take a game from Denver? I think Minnesota has enough talent to take a game. I was very uninspired by game one, but then I started to come around on I mean, obviously, I think Denver is going to win this series probably in five. But I came around on the fact that Minnesota played, they lost the playing game to the Lakers. Then they had what, a night or two off, and then won a playing game. Then they had a night. So they went, traveled from Minnesota to LA, then back to Minnesota, and then to Denver all in like 5 days. And that's 3 games in like 5 or 6 days. They were probably tired. And then I'm sure mentally you get down 15 early in the third. They're like, you know what? This is a long series. We don't have to get this one. So I do think Minnesota can play them a little bit more effectively. The one thing from that series that stood out that made me a little bit nervous for Minnesota is I think like a lot of us were like, oh, Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. You get 2 7-footers and then a bad defensive big on in Jokic, right? And they're like, wow, that's a real mismatch for them. However, one thing I didn't like take into consideration is that meant one of Rudy or Karl Anthony Towns had to run around with Aaron Gordon the whole time. And so it's like, yes, a mismatch on one end, but also a mismatch on the other. And so that's my biggest concern for Minnesota in this series. Sean says it's amazing how Memphis and Milwaukee were one player away from conference favorites to series dog. Classic playoff overreactions. Is it an overreaction, though, if they're not going to play? Like if Giannis is out, I mean, I still think they could win that series against Miami. But I think that's almost a proper reaction. Regulator said, has Denver's defense gotten better or just bad? Oh, well, it's hard to know, man, because Denver didn't try for like 3 weeks. And you want to talk about recency bias. Like everybody was just like, wow, dude, maybe Minnesota wins this in 5, you know? So yeah, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. But I just think it's a tough matchup for Minnesota. And I think Minnesota was tired. I'll be honest. I think they were tired. All right, I'm just going to pop over to So Rare quickly just so we can see what my rosters were doing. I haven't looked at it yet. Let's see. Let's see what we got. All right. So here we go. We'll blow this up a little bit. So my common pickup, we only had Seth Curry go. He was I fit in Tatum, Mitchell, and Butler. But so I had to play Seth Curry because his cap was like 8 and got 17. So I'll take it. And then Schroeder, my limited contender was pretty bad. Look at Claxton got 10. Kuminga got 1. Let's go. But here we go. My limited champion, I got 69. Nice from De'Aaron Fox. We also got Sabone. And then threw in Jamal Murray, Tyus Jones, who again was a play because it sounds like Ja is going to be out. And then Javon Carter, who should get a few more minutes if Giannis ends up missing time. Is that the doggo? Oh, geez. The dog like flew in. What's up, dude? Man, he's like on ice skates on the hardwood floor over here. And then my rare contender, which looks like it was a nice squad until you see what Tyrese Maxey did. So my contender, I got Karl Anthony Towns, Tyus Jones, Gabe Vincent, and Max Strus, because we know there's no Tyler Hero, and then Landry Shamet at face. But man, Tyrese Maxey, I should have tried to fit him in instead of Karl Anthony Towns, and then maybe done a lower cap. Dropped 60 last night. These are just my leftovers in my rare champ. I don't really think that has a shot at doing too much. All right, what else do I got in chat? Josh Hart's doubtful that that'll be rough if he's out. I totally missed that, Andre. I totally missed that. Right, because did he roll his ankle towards the end of game 1? I mean, he was clutch. He went 17 and 10 for them. The Bucks blew out a lot of teams with Giannis resting throughout the regular season. Admittedly, they weren't playoff games, but if they have time to prepare, I think they will win enough games to buy him time to heal. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, obviously, if Giannis sits tomorrow, you probably don't want to be going down 2-0 to Miami. But Miami's also without Tyler Hero, so they also get considerably worse. However, you got playoff big face Jimmy Butler, who averages like 50 and 50 in the playoffs. And Bam, I know I talked about this yesterday. The Bam matchup against Brolo actually didn't look too bad, especially with no Giannis, right? He gets exposed a little bit more. Speaking of Brolo, I totally forgot to bring this up. Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr. won Defensive Player of the Year, which is kind of exciting. I'm going to go ahead and take a look. It's in a book, Reading Rainbow. I want to go look at that thread of the playoff awards that I put out there. I realized I forgot to add Fox to it because of that. But hold on. Where's that sweet thread that I did over the weekend of all the playoff rewards and the playoff stuff? I mean, I tweet too much. That's what I'm getting out of this by looking at all of this. I'm getting at the tweets. Too many tweets. All right, here it is. Where is it? Sorry, guys. Isn't this good content? Just watching me scroll. And you're not even really watching me scroll. You're just watching me talk while I'm scrolling. We really do tweet too much. Anyways, we had Jaren Jackson Jr. for the sixth man of the year. For the defensive player of the year, and that came down. He gets the W for that. I think here it is. Here it is. Good Lord. All right, here we go. So we had NBA MVP, Embiid, Giannis, Joker, whatever. But anyways, the only one that we've gotten so far is Defensive Player of the Year was Jaren Jackson Jr. And then I listed all the Bucks. But so congrats to Triple J. Congrats to him. Udoka to Houston. Does that affect the Jaylen Brown decision? That's a great question. Hey, regulator, was that confirmed? I missed that. Was that confirmed? Or are you just talking about the speculation? Yeah, I mean, it probably can't hurt. Again, if Jaylen Brown would shut up, Siri. If Jaylen Brown gets the All NBA, I don't think it's going to matter because it's just too much money. Too much money. Steve said he's watching the dog. All right. Sean's saying Tyus Jones has proven to be more than a capable fill-in for Ja as he was going through his gun. Yeah. Again, Ja is definitely good. Tyus Jones is definitely good. Like, he's a good backup, but he is like a really good backup, and he's an okay starting point guard. And the Lakers are up 1-0. They got the game on the road. Memphis needs their best players. And so they either need outlier performances from Desmond Bane. They need Luke Kennard to go like 8 for 12 from 3. They need Anthony Davis to get hurt, right? Like, I think that does swing the series a little bit if Ja is not available. Now, hopefully it's just one game. Robert with the super chat. Let's go. Robert Dredden says Draymond at times can be the Warriors' biggest roadblock. For example, the 2016 NBA Finals and then last night. Yeah, we were talking about this earlier in the show, Robert, and it is. And sorry to track back to it, but I do think like it is weird. Draymond is one of the higher IQ basketball players. Like, you can't take that away from him. He's very sharp on the court. He knows where to be. He knows where everyone else is going to be. He knows where you're going to be. Yet time and time again, he kind of has these brain farts where he doesn't really think the action through. And I know it's just like, oh, it's a snap reaction. It was a retaliatory thing because Sabonis was also a little bit dirty. But like, again, I really don't think he realized how bad that looked or was in the moment. I don't think he and I wish he could be honest about it. I don't think he will. But I think he probably didn't realize how bad that looked. Because again, his reaction to the crowd, I think if he knew that he was about to get tossed, his reaction was pretty bad. I thought Steve Kerr's press conference after was pretty interesting too, because he was saying he didn't see it. He didn't see it live and he didn't see the replay of it. But his assistant coach came up to him. And he's like, I think Draymond might get tossed here. So like clearly the coaching staff was aware of it. But hey, dude, thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate that. Andre said they have Reggie Miller commentating the Knicks game tonight. That's disgusting. Almost as bad as having... Dude, I like Richard Jefferson. I think Richard Jefferson is pretty good. RJ and JJ, I'm here for that. Dre's also got that player option and puts them in a bad spot if they lose. Yeah, and I don't think we get honest reactions from the team. Like, I would love to know. Again, you know what Dennis Schroeder and LeBron are putting into their veins? Put that truth serum into Steph or Jordan Poole. I tweeted out a joke last night saying the only one that understands Sabonis right now is Jordan Poole. Right? Chicken Freak says if Memphis wants to win, they need to take a play from Mike Brown and track meet Davis out of the game. They need to do that. Well, and that's what I was talking about that on playback during game 1. I was really impressed and surprised that the Lakers were able to keep the pace that they did. They were playing so fast, and I thought that actually played into the Memphis's strength. But they kept the pace up. They kept the pace up even with old man LeBron. Josh said I'm the Skip Bayless of Draymond. I just think he gets a bit too much credit playing with 2 of the best shooters of all time and KD before he made him leave. I think KD might have left anyways, but I get what you're saying. I get maybe people overrate him. I think he's really sharp defensively. Barkley, no, that's wrong, regulator. Shaq said that. Shaq said he would have done the same thing. Didn't Chuck say like you can't do that? Or maybe he said he would do it, but Shaq was like, I definitely would have done it. I thought it was it. I tried to stay up. And watch Inside the NBA after the game, and I watched like the first 2 commercials, and they didn't talk about the Draymond thing. They went to Steve Kerr's press conference. They talked about the game a little bit more, and I really was like, hey, are they not allowed to talk about this because Draymond's a colleague? But then I Googled it this morning and looked up some highlights. Paul said, did you already talk about this? What are teams considering Udoka? What he did is serious enough for a title contender to dump him. Apparently just fine for crappy teams to sign him. You know what, Paul? That situation was so poorly handled by maybe the Celtics. I don't know. It's hard to know. It's hard to know because we have no idea what happened. So we have no idea if the Celtics handled this poorly. We have no idea if Udoka leaked. Well, we do have an idea. Udoka is the one that leaked it, right? Or Udoka's side of things leaked it, and that like helped create the narrative, right? And then the Celtics were put in a weird spot because of that. So it's hard to know what it was. And maybe, and I know we had this conversation with Miles Bridges on Friday, and it's not the same. It is not the same thing. And so, like, as I start to compare the two, I'm not really comparing them. But it's hard to know, like, what is the appropriate, like, when is enough enough? You know what I mean? When is enough so that the suspension has been served and you can come back? And I think like all of this is a business. It's an entertainment business and nobody really cares about people. So like if it's good for business and Ime is a good coach and the NBA wants him back in there, then the NBA is back in there. And like to think that the Houston Rockets or whatever team that takes him is morally above whatever we think may have happened, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing with Miles Bridges. And you can see that rang true with how the NBA reported that. And what like the Hornets didn't sign him when this happened because they knew he wouldn't be able to play, right? They knew this was bad. This is bad look, bad business. The NBA then like somehow includes that in the suspension, even though he wasn't on a team. They dropped this news on a Friday. Like nobody cares. Nobody cares, as terrible as that sounds. Anyways, Weisberg said, here's what I would say on Ime. It's bad enough legally that the Celtics felt obligated to dump him. Brad Stevens is pretty even keeled. Yeah. Or even keeled. Chicken Frick said the league smacked Udoka. He was going to the Nets before the league said, hell, you out of here. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. But it's clear because every coaching vacancy Ime has talked about. So it's clear that the league has just went 1, 2, 3, never happened. And then we can just move on. I think it's wild that we don't know anything. It's wild that the media hasn't like put any pressure on the Celtics organization or on Ime's people. Like it's wild that we just don't. And I'm not saying that we deserve or we have the right to have that information. I think it's wild nobody's even asking. So we don't even know why we can't have that information because reporters aren't even asking. Like, when's the last time you heard anybody and Boston notoriously loves this shit, right? Ask Terry Francona on his way out. Ask Nomar on his way out. They love to do this shit. And somehow everyone's just kind of like, you know what? Let's just focus on Joe Mazzulla and Derek White. It's just weird. The NBA players, regulators said the NBA players should have made a statement regarding Bridges. He's one of their members. It's not good for business, so they're not going to do it. It's just not good. Maddie Harrison says, I'm sure whichever team hires Ime will do a thorough independent investigation, meaning an interview with Ime, and that's it. Yeah, exactly. All right, we only got a few minutes left here. So let me remind the people, there's Defensive Player of the Year, Jaren Jackson Jr. Like the stream, subscribe to the channel, #stop the beam. All right, so yesterday we did a little Trap Shotty live stream, right, for the Q drop. We had some fun with that. I hope people had a good time. I really do appreciate everybody coming in because it had been a little while, as Stained would say. It's been a while since we had done one of those live streams. And the people seem to like it. So we'll continue to find some ways to do it. So I wanted to look at the drop and see what was left here with the redemption moments, right? Let's see what we got here. Hold on. Did I miss anything in the chat? No. All right. Let's see what we got here for the pack. Oh, there we go. There we go. How many packs left? Oh, I thought it would say here. So the 3-pointer is the $29 pack, right? Let's see what we got. There is just under 20,000 left. All right. Of the 48,000, let's see what we got for dropping dimes. And we have just under 67,000 left of the $10 packs, right? So again, as I said yesterday, I've said this a couple of times because #ad, #affiliate, #paid partnership. I love the sorry. Speaking of which, I hope you guys caught the lucky trader Spaces yesterday with NBA Top Shot right before the drop, where we heard from Peter Jennings, CSU Ram, came back to talk about Top Shot. I think the mechanics of this are I like it. I like what they're doing. I think this is a fun way to engage with the platform. It's a little bit of speculative. It's based on like who you think is going to do well in the playoffs. So you kind of make bets and hedges that way on the redemption moments. It's a fun way to like craft into next things. Right. I like it. I like it. I think the problem that we're going to run into time and time again for the near future is that there's just 5,000 of us. And there was a tweet yesterday. Let me see. I think I shared it in the Team Hold Discord, which if you're not on the Team Hold Discord, please do me a favor and join the Team Hold Discord by following the links in the show notes. There was a tweet by Eating W's 8, and it was in a reply to Tandy Man, right? Because Tandy Man, shout out Tandy Man, he had a tweet says, "Love the innovation and idea of these redemption packs. The design is fire. So far, the demand makes me think they should be priced 50% less." And then so Eating W's 8 said 140,000 packs divided by 5,000 active users means 27.8 packs per user. So 27.8 packs per user for that to sell out. And I don't know what they do. Because obviously, right, they got to make some dollars. They got to make some money. But it's true. I mean, I just don't think we either don't have the right price point or we don't have the right supply, because we don't have the right users for that. But like we said, listen, I enjoyed the pack music, right? We vibed while we ripped the pack. I enjoy the thought process behind a lot of this. JJL, I was just going to mention you. JJL said he bought 45 packs of each, doing his part. That's 90 packs. I know Boston Base bought a bunch. Boston Base, I think, already completed the set as well. So again, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it shakes out. I know people are pipe dreaming away right now that are like, what if? I feel like the 30 for 30. What if I told you that they're going to leave packs up there until Friday and then they're like, we're burning the rest? I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe they take the packs off the marketplace and then they give them out in different like challenge rewards and stuff. But I think what's going to happen is we're going to wait until these series get closer to wrapping up. And then you're going to see, holy crap, only 20% of Jokic is out in supply right now. And then maybe people buy more packs to get the Jokic. So I don't know. Yeah, Regulator already put it in the chat because I know I'm 2 seconds ahead of you guys. I just don't think that's going to happen. Would have thought they would sell out with the huge marketing push. The crickets. How dare you, Matt? Are you not talking? This is marketing, baby. We have an affiliate link for all the people that tune in to Team Hold that aren't aware of Top Shot already. Don't we get to the point where the value of the moments go up if people don't buy them? Well, I don't know. Sean. I don't know, because I think if that starts happening, people will start buying the moments, right? I don't know. Maybe though. Again, we've never seen this before, so I'm not dunking on them. I'm really not. I think I love this rollout of this stuff, so I'm happy to wait and see. And that's why someone was asking, like, "Oh, are you flipping all of your stuff immediately?" And I was like, "No, I'll wait. And see how things go." I mean, I only bought one pack, and I got the KD and the Redemption, which I actually think I gave away last night on the playback stream. Who's going to want packs that contain bricked redemptions from first round losing teams? No, you're not, but you also aren't going to know what you're getting, right? So I think if we start seeing moments go up, people are like, okay, do I buy a $22 Jamal Murray, or do I buy two $10 packs and see what I get? You know, I mean, I guess the answer should be the Jamal Murray, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm excited for the journey. Excited to see where it goes. But it's about the friends we made along the way. All right, I'm going to remind you guys to one more time to like the stream, subscribe, put hashtag stop the beam. I was actually just going to talk about what Josh, I'm going to talk about what Josh said as well. I wanted to shout out Weisberg again. So Weisberg, who put together a sweet playback last night that we talked about earlier with our friend Jake Fisher from Yahoo Sports, baby. Weisberg's back at it tonight. We get a combo with Jacob from Top Shot is going to be coming to watch the Knicks game with us. So Jacob will be there. We also have, who is it? Ian Schwami? Samsonite. I was way off. Hit me with the reference. So that's going to be tonight. I'm going to drop a link to the playback on Team Hold. Do me a favor, guys. We are at 478 members in there right now. We're almost going to hit 500. The more you watch, the better. And I appreciate the work Weisberg and Sneeps are doing. They are out there grinding. We had a great time last night, and the more people, the better. So I appreciate you. Appreciate everybody being in there. Josh says, I think it will be a good thing when people stop buying packs and look towards the market. Might even take another year or two minus EV packs. Yeah, I don't think we're there yet. JJL saying maybe we can use extra redemptions for something else in the future. Wishful thinking. I hope we see. Again, I think the mechanics of this are pretty sharp, and I hope we see. I hope we see something like that. Free packs for those that bought 3 or more. Yeah. Sean says I got 2 3-pointers and 2 steps. Need to find out how the wild cards work. The wild card is a moment that is created. It's like the third one. So like you guaranteed Tatum, guaranteed Brown. If Marcus Smart hits like a half-court shot for the win, that would be the third one, right? The packs can have anything. It can even be a Jamal Murray. Dumb and Dumber. Let's go. A lot of Dumb and Dumbers. Will Jacob and Mike be doing a handshake on playback? That's a great question. I hope you guys do. Recreate that. Weisberg's biggest Top Shot guest since Shaney. Never forget. All right, what else we got? Stomp. You're gonna put that hashtag in there, Brent. But yeah, that'll be fun. You guys should check out playback tonight. Also, just a reminder of all the stuff that we had yesterday. If you guys like the show, Barry, Steve, and I piloted our first episode of Barry Boys, which we're going to come up with a new name, not because we're out on Barry. We're going to do this whole season of Barry. But once Barry comes to an end, we are going to pivot to a new show. So we're going to continue to do that. So we had to come up with a new name. So check that out. And even if you weren't into it or if you have feedback, let me know because more feedback, the better. And if people like it, I want to make sure we're doing a good job with it. So that's in podcast form as well. And I think in a couple of weeks, we'll spin it off into its own podcast feed, which will be exciting. So the rest of the week, this is what we got. Playback tonight, baby. Tomorrow night, speaking of Steve, the 89 Cavs, instead of doing the podcast form, we're just going to do it on playback for the Grizzlies and the Lakers game. So tomorrow, 89 Cavs, 7:30 over on playback, which will be a lot of fun. Shot Tank should be at 9, but we got to see. I got to see what's going on with Shot Tank. I got to talk to the boys. We'll obviously have the NBA bit every morning at 9 a.m. I can't believe it's only Tuesday morning. I've got like Thursday energy right now. All right, let's give this thing away. Last call. Like the stream, subscribe, stop the beam. Also, people were asking about live before lock stuff for So Rare related content. Moving forward, what we're going to do, since it's only one lock a week, right? The lock happens on Monday nights. And we don't have the same chaotic energy of all the injury news coming in, all the game time decision stuff, right? We're going to do a recorded show that I'm going to try to get up either Sunday night or early Monday morning throughout the playoffs. So, and then I know some people are asking for some baseball content. I'm really trying, but I am whole hog. We are going full all in for this NBA playoffs. As you can see, I think I put up like a total of 25 videos in the last 24 hours. So once this slows down a little bit and maybe we only have a couple of teams left, we head to the NBA finals, we'll start trickling out some baseball So Rare content. But in the meantime, go check out Eric Annenberg and Nifty Sports and G Dunn and the Weekly Walk-Off. Go check out that show. All right, that's it. 2 NBA games, we go a full hour. This is beautiful. We don't have to talk about the Rockets anymore. We'd love to see it. If you get this W, shoot me a DM at Mike Zakarian or in the Discord. But excited to see what we got for the rest of the week. Excited for more basketball tonight. Winner is Boston-based. Let's go, Boston-based. Honestly, you deserve this win, not only because you're waiting on another moment from me, but more importantly, because you were fighting the police today, Boston base. So happy day after Patriots Day. Oh yeah. JJL said we need some Bruins content. Also get ready for some summer league stuff, baby. Get ready for some summer league because we got more info coming. All right. I hope everybody has a great rest of the day. Best of luck out there. Stop by, or I don't know. I shouldn't say stop buying those packs. Maybe you go buy those packs. I don't know what you're going to do. Let's go C's, kid. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.